How's everyone doing? Mask here, and today we're looking at something a little different. It's a game that I've been stalking with one of my best friends, Tup, for the longest time. It's a team fight tactics. Honestly, if you've been on the internet in the last couple days, chances are you've seen it at least once. It is blowing up all over Twitch as well. It is a really fun game based on auto chess, which is there's auto chess for mobile available right now. You play it on your computer as well. It was a fantastic game to start with, but I am so excited to see a company like Riot, a company who is so dedicated to balancing. Every patch they ever do, balance. Try to make the game fair, keep the game fun on League of Legends, and to have them behind a game like auto chess with their team fight tactics is super exciting because it's a game I just thoroughly enjoy. It's kind of like a card game strategy game. I'm saying game a lot here, but as you know, I've played a ton of Duel Links on this channel as well. I love card games. I love the strategy, but also it's like an economy-based game where you really have to manage a budget, manage your money, and have money to invest in more units, more chess pieces, you could say, to make them stronger. Anyhow, this is the first balance patch they released. I wouldn't say first, but this is a big balancing patch they've released, and we're going to get to play on this patch all weekend. So I'm just going to go over some of the changes right now. So we have a buff coming to Akali. Now, a lot of people, I would say in the first couple days, ninjas and assassins were dominating the meta. They've kind of died down a little bit now if people have started to figure out other team comps that are actually working and that scale better into late game, but they're giving Akali a little bit of a buff to 100 HP. She survives another auto attack, and the damage on her ultimate, we're going to call all the spells ultimates here, just because it's easy, giving a significant ultimate damage buff scaling on level 2 and level 3. 75 and 150, so that's fairly significant. Akali's still a hard unit to pop off with. I haven't seen anyone really focus on her as a hyper carry as well. Aurelion Sol and Brand. Now, this is an interesting one, and a lot of people they're not going to know how they feel about Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol solo carries games. Even at level 1, you get your hands on one Aurelion Sol. If you can get it any buffs, couple items, sit in your back row, specifically, I don't know, lets it actually auto attack anywhere on the map without moving. His ult covers the entire map as well. They're not changing anything on Aurelion Sol. I do feel like I like to see them being hesitant. Aurelion Sol really only saw play in the last day and a half, and Brand, they're both tough. They're both tough to pull off. Brand is sort of underwhelming. He's never really impressed me too much. His ult, it can be really great. Sometimes it doesn't bounce once, and you're just like, oh well, gotcha. This is true too. So we're gonna skip down here to Lulu. Lulu was bugged. Lulu's ult wasn't casting, and throwing her back into the mix gives more options to synergize with Aurelion Sol and Brand. So attack speed items getting nerfed. Lulu being introduced back into the game, they may feel like they need to adjust Aurelion Sol and Brand in the future. Now, a big buff to Cho'gath. Cho'gath was seeing next to no play because his ultimate, his spell, Rupture, it's just so hard to hit anyone with. So your AoE radius was only two squares. Now when you take something from 2 to 3, it's a lot bigger than just making it one unit larger as well. It's a circle, so it's really hitting a lot more. You're going to be able to completely stun and really set back clumped backlines with his spell now. Stun duration it only scales up to 2.5 seconds. So they're nerfing the stun duration. It starts at 2 though. That's not so bad, only 0.5, and they don't scale it up to 3.5, but the fact that it's actually going to reliably hit a good chunk of your opponent's team and really set them back definitely will take that hit on the stun duration. The damage is also, the damage is hardly touched. A little bit of nerf early, a little bit of scaling late on the damage. I wouldn't worry about it. A skill like this is not for the damage. It's all about the crowd control. So the fact that you're now going to hit 2 to 3 more units than you might have before, it's a usable spell, and I'd like to see Cho'gath start giving us some play. This is going to give us access to Void comps, Brawler comps, both really not getting much play right now. Evelyn fixed a bug where Evelyn's spell would sometimes not hit the 3 hexes in front of her. You know what? I actually have seen this. Evelyn would ult, she teleport backwards. It's kind of a really weird unit to use anyway. The teleport, it never feels like I'm getting the value. It kind of takes her out of the fight. But if it wasn't even hitting the 3 hexes in front of her, that means previous to now, no wonder she felt so underwhelming. She was doing nothing. They fixed the Lulu bug, obviously. We know that. Sejuani, damage. So her ultimate, the damage on her ultimate's getting scaled back a little bit. This is alright. I feel like Sejuani's really powerful right now. She brings a ton of CC into your front line, totally keeping your opponent's team at bay. And it's not the damage. You're not gonna miss 150 damage. It's this just trying to take off the absolute oppression that she has. She doesn't need to be doing damage. It's all about the crowd control. That's just a cute little balance. So when you just kind of taking the edge off a really stacked Sejuani team. Traits, Glacial. This would affect Sejuani as well. Glacial units are too good at turning on the perma-stun without much investment in the synergy. Proc chance, 25, 35, 45% being nerfed down to 20, 30, and 45%. So now you're not getting that full Glacial buff on your team unless you're fully investing into it. You gotta have a full-fledged Glacial team, then it's exactly how it was before. We're seeing a 5% proc chance at level 1, or at the first tier and the second tier. That's nice. Glacial was getting a little overwhelming, and especially if you got a really nice team, got a Sejuani in the front line, and can build your team around Ashe, having that ranged auto with Glacial was one of the more dominating team comps we had in the meta right now. Recurve Bow. So this is going to be this is a huge change to the meta. Recurve Bow is getting a 5% attack speed nerf, and Ginsu's Rage Blade is getting a 1% per stack nerf. Now, Ginsu's right now infinitely stacks. It actually says that on the item. In a video game, when you see the word infinite, honestly, I start being like, are you sure? You really want to do this? Infinitely stacks, but every 4 auto attacks, you're missing out on an entire auto attack worth of attack speed as per previous. So it's going to take you 4 autos to get to 12%. It was 3 autos before. So that's nice. People were building multiple Ginsus on the same person because all items stack. We were told by Riot, all items stack. Well, I'm not the only one who has built multiple Zeke's Heralds. Wait a second. Zeke's Herald can't. No wonder that it hurt. That hurt. I've had a game where I built multiple Zeke's Heralds, and I've built multiple Locket of the Iron Stellaries when I was really trying to like push a Knight team and just have everyone so beefy. I had 2 Lockets. They weren't stacking. What a waste of my items. What a waste of my items. Oh my gosh. So Zeke's and Locket are fixed. They can stack. Now bugs. Fixed a bug where interest was being calculated after round end gold was received. So how this worked before, obviously you guys can tell that interest is, you get 1 extra gold per round if you have 10 gold in your bank currently. That's interest. I can stack up to 5 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. At 50 gold, you're going to get a bonus 5 gold every round. It's fairly significant. The highest tier unit in the game is 5 gold. That's a whole extra top tier unit, or 5 1 gold units you could have bought every round. But it was a bug. Definitely a bug. I read the actual bug report thread on Reddit, and the Riot employee who found the thread and actually said, I'm going to look into this. It's a bug. Your round end gold, so the 5 gold you got at the end of the round, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think possibly your win streak. But no, the win streak came after interest. So the round end gold was being added. So your 5 gold for the end of the round was being added to your total. Then interest was calculated. So the real tiers were 5, 15. So 5 would turn to 10, then they'd give you the interest. 15 would go to 20, then they'd give you the interest right at the end of the round. So everyone who didn't know that had to play to hold on to 10 gold to get that bonus, when in reality you could drop to 5 and you were still getting that 1 bonus every round. But it's fixed now, so not a big deal. Now this one was huge and so frustrating. Fixed a bug where units picked in shared draft would sometimes lose their items. Sometimes, no, every time. would lose their items when auto-combined. So you have two veins. You have a vein on the board, a vein on your I like to call it my deck, vein on board, vein on deck, and you pull a vein from the carousel, and it's holding a spatula. Vein has a spatula, and you're like, yes, this is my spatula. I got two spatulas. We're going to go ham. Vein would come onto your deck, auto-combine into the vein on your board. So your level 1 went to level 2. And the spatula was gone. What? That was so frustrating. Oh my gosh. But they fixed it. Okay, good. Moving on. Bug fixes are great. There is another bug in the game right now that I just looked at a few different videos to kind of get a grasp on. I was watching Toast. Toast was going through a couple of Scars videos as well. And Serifs Embrace right now. Is that the right... Yeah, Serifs. The item made from 2 tiers. Lacking the... it's supposed to give you 20 mana after every time a spell is cast. The wording on that makes you believe it's anytime a spell is cast by anyone on the playfield. That being said, the interpretation of when the spell cast is not important. It's never giving you 20 mana. So at the moment, it does not give you any extra mana, meaning you're getting 0 actual bonus whatsoever for building that item. You could simply put a tier on 2 people and get the mana, put them together and put it on someone. You're still just getting the mana, and the active ability of the item is not working at all. So that's another bug. I'm sure it'll get pointed out in a nice Reddit thread, or they'll be aware of it quite soon, because there was tens of thousands of people that were watching the same video I was to definitely have light shone on this. But what can I say? This game is in beta. It has been out for a mere days, and I think this is the second time Riot has already dipped their hand in the pot, stirred things around, and balanced, fixed, patched, fixed, balanced. I cannot even tell you how many times I've played games where this first... I mean, technically it's in beta, but nowadays every game's in beta when it comes out immediately, always. A week and a half, 2 weeks, you play on broken stuff, and it doesn't get fixed for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you're like, oh, finally, okay, like half the community stopped playing the game, but thanks for the fix, I guess we're gonna do our best. That's not Riot. I'm so pumped for a game that I've really been enjoying. It just grabs so, I think that's why it's so crazy popular, too. So many different aspects of gaming that I love. Economy, managing a budget, just card strategy, building a team comp, synergy. Let me just throw out all these other words of things I just like. The only thing this is missing is leveling up. Oh wait, it has leveling up. Getting stronger. Oh, of course, stats. There's items, builds. This is fantastic. But all this video was to focus on was the patch notes. If you haven't come across these yet, here they are. Good luck fighting the long queue times to get into the PBE. That's honestly the biggest challenge with teamfight tactics right now, is just getting logged in. So to anyone who is trying to play, I definitely suggest it. It's so much fun. Have fun with the queue times. I'll see you in the queue. How about that? I'll see you in the login queue. Until next time, thanks for checking this out. Stay classy.